I think. Yeah.
That's our official.
This one back here is closer, but and there's a lot of feedback there.
Yeah, there is.
It's the volume of these speakers.
My computer actually says it's still 8:58.
Yeah, mine says
We have a
9.
lot of official times.
Now that one went to 9.
Hey, Kevin, can you turn down all the speakers up here?
Yeah, I'm trying to mess with it now.
Thank you.
Probably whenever you're ready, Kevin.
Alright.
You gotta flip the switch.
On air?
I clicked the wrong switch, my bad.
Hate when
There
that
we go.
happens.
Good morning. I would like to call to order this meeting of your Fremont County Board of County Commissioners. This is a special meeting today with a single item of new business. I'm going to ask you all to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance at this time. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Present.
Commissioner McFall.
Present.
Commissioner Grantham. Here. County Attorney Bellis.
Present.
County Administrator Croce.
Present.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We turn next to the approval of today's agenda. As I mentioned, this is a single item of business for today. This is the consideration of a resolution extending the local disaster declaration for the Aspen Acres wildland fire.
Somebody gonna make a motion?
Let's have a motion to approve today's agenda.
Madam Chair, I'll move to approve today's agenda.
Second.
All right, it has been moved and seconded
Sorry.
to approve today's
I was
agenda.
reading. Oh, it's
Are we
Let's
just
do
off?
roll call.
totally spaced out.
Commissioner Grantham.
I just about said here. Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Hi.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We have no consent agenda today. We have no need for a motion there, gentlemen.
Thanks. Yeah.
We're going to jump right into new business. We all know what we're here for today. This is all about the Aspen Acres wildland fire that is currently burning at almost 100,000 acres due south and somewhat to the east of us here in Fremont County. Fortunately, this fire has not yet actually reached Fremont County, but it has gotten very close. It's too close for comfort. Because of that, the evacuations were ordered Sunday evening by the incident management team. We have the special team here from Alaska, as I'm sure you're all aware. We have no timeline yet for the return of all of those evacuees into the coal towns, but we are meeting multiple times daily with folks from incident management, from emergency management, from all of our partner agencies, and keeping as up to date as we possibly can with what's going on for a fire that actually is not burning in Fremont County. So we felt that we haven't had a lot of news to try to manage here in Fremont County simply because this fire does not belong to us. It is burning in Custer County. It is burning in Pueblo County. There's nothing we can add to the conversation other than now our own evacuations that would add to the conversation because the information does not belong to us. We simply can spout the same things that everyone else is already talking about. We can repeat things, but we're not a big fan of repeating over and over and over again the same information that you can get elsewhere. So first thing I think this morning, we're going to turn to our Fremont County Attorney, Eric Bellis, for an explanation of this resolution number 15, which is extending the disaster declaration regarding the Aspen Acres wildland fire to midnight on July 29th of 2026. So Eric, if you would like to explain what we're doing with this action today, that'd be great.
Certainly. These resolutions that we do with respect to local disasters and the local disaster declaration is simply the first step necessary to enable us access to additional resources beyond those of Fremont County. When we declare a local disaster, whether it be by declaration or in this case resolution extending that 7-day declaration, it does several things. It activates local memorandums of understanding to make resources available from neighboring counties and neighboring partners in the area. It also alerts the state and it makes additional resources available from the state. It also, in this case, makes resources available from the federal government. So we have a number of those resources that you all can see anytime you pass by the Fremont County Airport and you see those large aircraft departing from the airport, the Black Hawk helicopters, the Chinook helicopter, those are federal assets. The red and white helicopters that you all are familiar with and have seen before, and in fact are stationed at our airport, those are state resources. This disaster declaration makes all of those available, and it just formalizes what we need to do to access those resources that obviously allow us to respond to disasters that exceed our local capacity to respond. The reason that we chose, the date that we chose, July 29th, to extend this, that is the day after our next regularly scheduled Board of County Commissioners meeting. These wildfires tend to burn for a significant amount of time, and whether this fire does or does not cross into Fremont County, I suspect we will be reevaluating the need to further extend this at our next regularly scheduled Board of County Commissioners meeting.
All right, thank you, sir. Any questions for Eric at this time? I would like to just note that our governor, Jared Polis, also has declared the Aspen Acres fire a state disaster as well. And speaking of the ability to access resources, we asked our Department of Human Services Director, Tanya Sutton, to come in this morning and explain about some resources that are currently available to our citizens simply because of this disaster declaration. Good morning, Tanya.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming.
So I thought that this was a great idea by Commissioner Bell to really explain what the Department of Human Services has been able to do because of this declaration. So thank you again. I will jump into some specifics, but just want to really quickly start with just a huge thank you to this board, because without issuing this, we wouldn't be able to do some of the things I'm going to speak about, as well as County Attorney Bellis, because not only did he help to solidify all of this and get all of this filed in the right ways, but I've seen him in different ways this past week and a half that I never did before, such as driving the Red Cross truck to us so that we could help get the shelter set up. So huge thanks to everyone in this room, as well as so many other county staff, my staff specifically, not only showing up with, I think right now we have 11 staff just at DHS that have been evacuated, showing up to do what they are asked to do every single day, taking care of other people, but also volunteering in their time off. So I am very honored to be part of this community. Just want to start with that. So with this declaration being a county declaration, we can now access a couple of different pots of funds we were not able to previously. One of them is for our adult financial population. So those populations are specific to the aid and needy disabled, our adult population, old age pension population. These funds can be accessed by those who have previously been approved for these grants. So all of the eligibility would have had to be completed and approved prior to this disaster declaration. But now that that has happened for those individuals, if they're in need of things like food, shelter, clothing, transportation, personal care items, or medical care due to the disaster, we can now access an additional $2,000 for each of those individuals. There is a process, because that's what we do in the government. We have processes. We have to make sure that we have all of the correct paperwork completed, and our staff is ready and able to help with that. The state has already clicked all the right buttons in our system to be able to process these things, but we do still have to have paperwork and things like that. We are not going to ask individuals to bring us any verification of anything. If they have an address and we know that they're going to be in that evacuation area, we're going to do what we need to do to access these funds. The second pot is for our Colorado Works and families. So Colorado Works is what other people can consider TANF funds to be able to be eligible for that assistance. You have to have a family with at least one child or a child on the way, a pregnancy, and a family income below $75,000 a year. A little bit different than our adult financial. We can still access eligibility through this process, but again, it has to be those very specific needs that happened because of the disaster. These additional funds are not an entitlement. So if somebody is receiving aid to needy and disabled and now they have been evacuated, that does not automatically mean they get an extra amount of money. What it does mean is our staff is going to really talk to them about what needs do you have, how can we help overcome those, and then potentially access these funds. One thing that I was surprised by, I appreciated Attorney Bellis really indicating it opens up additional resources. This does open up additional resources, however, it does not give us additional money. So all of these funds still come up out of our local budget. That was something I was not aware of before we filed this with the state. That does not mean that we will not help our citizens. We'll do whatever we need to do to help those individuals in need. What it does mean is we may be asking questions that others may think we shouldn't. We're going to ask, where else can we find these, resources? What else can we do to meet these needs? Because we still have to be responsible stewards of, taxpayer dollars. So I also just wanted to mention that this will be through August of 2026 at this point. We can file potentially, I will be filing this extension with the state to see if that gives us more time, but our staff only have 5 days to process these. So once we hear of a need, we have 5 days to get it in the system and for them to do all of the verification they have to do. Our technicians have a lot of work, but they work very hard and they will do whatever is needed. So if anybody in the community fits in these specific areas and needs assistance, please just give us a call. Our direct line is 719-275-2318, and our office is open from 7:30 until 5 every day, Monday through Friday. So we're here to help. We're here to help just find resources, tap into funds, whatever we need to do. And if anybody knows of anything else that is missing, please let us know and we'll research that as well.
Tanya, thank you so much. That's a lot of information. It's very helpful information. And please take back to your staff our very deep thanks and gratitude for all the hard work that they're putting in. We have so many county people right now. This might be a good segue real quickly. We have so many county people who are digging really deep right now. We have folks who have come in to volunteer their time while they're on paid vacation to be staying home, but instead they're coming here and volunteering. We have people here in our buildings who have been evacuated and are still coming. They're here, they're working every single day, rather than staying in a hotel, in a B&B, at a friend's house, wherever they happen to be located right now. They're still coming to work and they're doing the job. And the volunteerism and the efforts that we've seen not only from county employees, but from others throughout Fremont County. So I would just like to address real quickly, we put out a call early on for donations. And that call was answered so fast and so hard by so many people, we had to stop accepting donations because we no longer have a place to actually store those until we can get them to the appropriate recipients. And so keep an eye out, though, because we may be opening that back up again, and if we do, we will put out the list of items that are needed, as well as where you can take them in the locations and different things.
Great.
So,
yes,
okay.
Thank you for that. We were able to access some of those donations through emergency management yesterday to assist some of our families. So we will continue to support through that as well. So thank you again. Appreciate you having me.
Thank you. I also would like to mention the Red Cross shelter that's currently open at Pathfinder Park. We have so many others who are down there volunteering, donating their time, taking care of animals, taking care of people, taking care of meals, doing all of those different things. Again, the community has just come together in a truly incredible way here. So we do have someone from the public who showed up this morning and would like to speak. Pam Hardy, would you please come forward and tell us what's on your mind? If you want to turn on that microphone, push that button right there. Right in the front middle. Yes, yeah. You do. We can't hear you if you don't turn that on.
There you
All
go.
right, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners, for allowing me to stand. I'm a homeowner in the Los Pinos subdivision south of Florence, and I'm here to represent some of the homeowners in Los Pinos. My husband and I attended the meeting in Pueblo Monday night that was put on by the Alaskan team for the firefighters, and then afterwards we got to talk to some of the subject matter experts. So we understand the evacuation, we respect it. I'm not here to be concerned about that. But our concern is the evacuation. We've had mandatory evacuation Sunday night. And yesterday, we have a homeowners association and we email each other. There's a few people that have decided to stay. They did not evacuate. And we've had a few vehicles come through, sit in front of each of the houses, we're assuming taking pictures, looking for cameras, pickup truck. There was a pickup truck at different hours. I know in the Beulah Rye area, they've had a lot of looting. When the houses were evacuated, there was a lot of looting. So our concern is about that. We also have a neighbor that has caused a lot of unrest in our community. And we've got some neighbors there that's been there 40 years. My husband and I, we've been there 35 years. And, you know, the ones that have been there a long time, we've got a real close-knit. But we've got one neighbor that's been causing a lot of problems. We've had to call the sheriff's office many times to come out. One week, I think the sheriff's office had to come out like 7 times in less than a week. And nothing's being done. She is still there. And we already know that she has done some destruction. So here we're evacuated, but yet she's in there. Our concern is we've got the fire we're concerned about. I totally understand how the fire could get to us. I have no questions about that. Our concern is the fire. Our concern is the neighbor that's there that could be causing damage, you know, free reign. And then lastly, our concern is possible looting. And I know a couple neighbors have been able to get in, even as of yesterday. When we leave here, my husband and I, when we leave here, we are hoping to get in because I got cameras that I want to set up. If not, I will be contacting the sheriff. So those are my concerns. So it's not just the fire, it's, you know, our lifelong possessions.
Okay, thank you
That's
so
it.
much for being here and speaking this morning.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to rise and speak? Okay, the first thing I would say to you, Pam, is what an incredibly stressful time and how heartbreaking this is for everyone who has been involved. I have not been evacuated, and I can only imagine the stress that you're under because, as I just said a moment ago, we are dealing with a lot of those folks here in the county buildings as well. And so we are able to see, I mean, just the stress on faces and the lack of sleep and the things that are going through your minds. And so I think it's incredible that you know your neighbors so well. Not everyone has that ability and that opportunity to actually be part of a neighborhood instead of just having people that you live next door to. So I think it's a wonderful thing that you're looking out for each other, that you're all helping take care of each other. I would encourage you to stay in touch with the sheriff's office when and if you see any of those things continuing to happen. So thank you for being here. Gentlemen.
I would just add on to
Comments?
that, Madam Chair, that I know the sheriff's office is obviously very concerned about that, and we're seeing the same information coming from Pueblo and Custer about the possibility of that happening. I'm not sure if there's any confirmed cases on that yet, but it's always a worry and a concern in these situations, right? And you've expressed them. But I would, not to speak for the sheriff's office or the sheriff's department, but or the sheriff himself, but I know that they are doing their best to make sure they're on top of that, and they certainly don't want that happening. I know they're stretched thin right now, managing, but as the chair said, please stay in touch with them as much as you can, and any of those other folks that are out there still, that you know that feel free to take some pictures.
Absolutely. Yes.
Thank you for your coming in today, though.
Would you like to speak? Come on up to the microphone, and if you would identify yourself, please. And then afterward, if you would fill out one of these slips from over there and turn it into the clerk. It's on already, yes.
My name is Laura Bratt. I live
Hi, Laura.
on Highway 67 in the evacuation zone. I was away on vacation July 1st to the 7th. The house was sort of evacuated by my daughter, but could not find medications. I need medication, clearly. Is there any way to I wasn't allowed to grab my own stuff. Is there any way that I can access? I have severe asthma, and I'd like to know, is there a short term, is there windows where we can be given a couple hours a day to go back to the house and get medication? Because I was not home when this happened. And my 27-year-old daughter did not have a clue where all this medication was.
Sure.
She grabbed her own medications, and the cats, 3 cats, and our roommate. Plus, we all lost our jobs right before this happened in March, so we have no jobs, but all my medication's there, and I can't afford to go buy it all. So I'm asking, is there short-term emergency access to my house? There's other people out on the land who are refusing. We live on a multitude of land, so it's divided up to 3 sections. One of the sections is staying occupied, but they can't bring it to me because they won't let them back in. So I don't know what to do, but I need medication. And I'm asking, is there any chance for a couple of hours just to go get some stuff?
Okay.
Have you been in touch with the sheriff's department?
They said no.
Yeah, I don't think that's right. I think for medication and stuff, they're
And I
supposed to
told them,
escort
I'm
you
like,
in
I
there.
need this.
Yeah.
My eyes are watering all the time. I can't breathe. I'm going to be in the hospital soon.
People who don't have underlying medical conditions are having a hard time with the smoke,
I
right?
know.
So people who do have those issues
Yeah.
already, it has to be so much worse. So I'm terribly sorry for what you're going through right now. The 3 of us do not have the power to say, yes, we
know.
will grant this.
I
We
understand.
do have the power to have that conversation with others. And
Okay.
so we will have that conversation.
All right.
We will see what we can do for you and for folks like you who have a desperate need to get back in to retrieve something from your property.
When you fill out the little paper that
Yeah.
Brandon's got right there, leave your phone number and stuff so
And
they can pass
I
it
do
on.
live in Fremont County,
Yeah. Sure.
but I've definitely been
But
evacuated.
yeah, leave
Yeah.
your information there so we can pass that on to the sheriff so they can get in touch with you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Dwayne?
Well, just a couple of things that I want to say. You mentioned about evacuated staff. We have some in this building, some from Custer County and Fremont County. Pathfinder Park is, one of them sitting next to me. Pathfinder Park is full. We have near 500 animals in there that have been evacuated from Custer and Fremont County. We've got a great bunch of volunteers helping with those animals. And then we've also had an overwhelming display, whatever you want to call it, of animal food. We have so much we have more chicken feed out there than I think they'll ever feed in a long time, but that's a great thing. So I appreciate everyone's help with that. And animals, I understand, she mentioned cats a minute ago. I understand cats are hard to find a place to go to stay with because people won't let cats stay because they want to cost you a fortune for cats for a deposit or whatever. So that makes it tough too, but they do have some out there in cages, in crates, and dogs as well. But there's every kind of animal out there I think you can think of. Somebody said, what is Noah's Ark?
Noah's Ark.
Yeah, that's
It
kind
is a
of
Noah's
true,
Ark,
but
yeah.
it's our extension agent and the volunteers and Dwayne, the guy that runs Pathfinder Park for us, and his helper Bree, they've done an excellent job of setting up under the pavilion where those animals have room, but there's still room for some more because they come in. There's a bunch came in even yesterday, so I want to reach out. Send this out to those guys, thank them. But also, we've talked about a lot of information here, and there's a lot of it's overwhelming. There is an emergency management hotline in Fremont County, and the phone number is 719-276-7421. That number can be called for information as to what's happening, the most current information they can give you. They won't know when evacuations will be lifted. I can repeat that number too if you need that. It's 719-276-7421. They won't have the time of when the evacuations are going to be lifted or anything like that, but they can tell you the current status of everything. And that again is some of our staff and some other volunteer people that work for the OEM, the Emergency Manager's Office. So we appreciate all of those volunteers. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. I think at this time, we're probably prepared to move forward unless anyone has further comments.
Always.
Okay. Commissioner Grantham.
I do have a question.
Come up to the microphone, please. And we need you to identify yourself.
I'm Marianne Comar. I live literally at the end of CR 15,
Okay, hi, Mary
next
Ann.
door to Florence Mountain Park. You've met my partner. He like talk to you about the bears. And I'm concerned about what they were talking about online, DAC, and something about passes for people to get back in, and is Fremont going to do that?
Not at this point. At this point, those are only available for Custer and Pueblo County because of the fire that's went through and it's been cleared.
Yeah.
It's given them an opportunity to go back in whenever it's safe. We don't have that in Fremont County because we actually don't have any fire in Fremont County yet.
Right.
We're just waiting for them to either lift the evacuations and God forbid fire ever get here, but
We're not waiting for fire, are we?
yeah, we don't want fire to cause that. We want the fire to go away, but at this point, there is not that for Fremont County because it's not over, I guess is the way to say it.
Okay.
And that's why they're available for Pueblo and Custer, because some of those areas have been
That's where the
deemed
fire's
safe.
already occurred.
Yeah, the fires already
Okay.
went through, unfortunately.
All right.
So at this time, there's not for Fremont County, and hopefully there won't be, because that means we had fire.
Yeah.
But eventually,
Yeah.
it'll just be lifted. That's what we're hoping.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Just to, again, pile on, that's what I do. I appreciate all the volunteers and everybody that's been helping out at Pathfinder and Red Cross, and just want to extend our thanks to all of those folks. The Noah's Ark of Fremont County. It is quite the sight out there. But also very orderly and structured and very nice out there. And we're fortunate, we're lucky that we have such a facility to help our community. I just wanted to repeat what the chair said earlier about just our thanks for our community, how impressive it is watching folks come together. I was talking to our Mr. Kroll yesterday about we got so much, an inundation of supplies and donations that came in. He felt bad for having to tell people that we can't take anymore. I said, well, this is a good problem to have in Fremont County. Not every community has just that kind of a problem. And so it's pretty awesome. I said, I bet if for some reason our supplies run low, I bet we could turn that spigot back on pretty good and quick.
Very quickly as well.
And our community would respond. And so we're good right now, I think, on supplies, but pay attention. You never know when that might need to be turned back on, and be ready to help some more. The only other thing I would add, Madam Chair, just because we're given the opportunity here this morning, is for anybody that's paying attention, anybody that's watching this, whether live or recording, please beware of false information. The social media is fantastic for getting information out quickly to a lot of people. It's also a good way to spread false information quickly. And so if somebody is saying something and it doesn't ring true, look to the actual sources that have the information that we need. The Aspen Acres Fire 2026, if you're on Facebook, the hotline that we have, these are the sources.
The sheriff's Facebook as well.
The sheriff's Facebook as well, who is actually reposting some of those other sites that are credible. So please pay attention to those credible sites like that, and not any other self-proclaimed veritable sources, trustworthy sources. The sheriff's office, all three of the sheriff's offices, Pueblo, Custer, Fremont. Just an example, and I hesitate to even bring this up because I don't want to be adding to anything false, but I want to be very clear. The federal facilities in Florence are not evacuating. They are not going to be turning out prisoners onto the streets or anything ridiculous like that. Just utterly ridiculous things being said on Facebook that are on their very face false, but it's maddening for us that our emergency manager, our sheriff's office, us or anybody else is having to field questions about something that's utterly ridiculous because somebody decided that they were going to take their most weirdest thoughts in the back of their head and post them on Facebook that we're going to be turning out El Chapo onto the street. That's simply not going to happen. It's never going to happen. They don't need to evacuate. They're not going to evacuate. Thank you, Madam Chair.
I would add to that, Commissioner Grantham, what that actually does is it takes these people's time away from what they should be doing. When they have to defend against all of those untruths and the accusations that are out there, every minute spent defending against that is another minute that they are not able to spend doing the job that they need to be out there doing. Yes. So, good point. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So,
What about next door? Same?
All social media, same.
Yeah, all social media. The question is, what about Nextdoor as opposed to Facebook? So it really is all social media. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I am prepared for a motion if
I have a
we
motion
have
for
our
you, Madam
say.
Chair.
Yes, please.
I just want to note that this resolution is available on our website if anybody wants to read it in its entirety. It does explain what the local disaster declaration does in this extension. With that, Madam Chair, I move to approve resolution number 15, series of 2026, extending the disaster declaration regarding Aspen Acres wildfire to midnight on July 29th, 2026.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 15, series of 2026, extending the disaster declaration regarding Aspen Acres wildland fire to midnight on July 29th of 2026. Further discussion? All right, let's do roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Sorry, I gotta do it again. My mic was off. Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, we have no further business to come before us. Thank you all so much for being here. Thanks for listening and paying attention online. We are adjourned.
I was just going to say.